All right, everybody, welcome to Missouri Bluffs Golf Course here in St. Charles, Missouri. We are live at the St. Louis Golden Tee Open, and we're kicking things off this week with mobile qualifying matches, our first ever live mobile event. We've got 140 players signed up for the Golden Tee tournament that will happen this weekend on the arcade. We've got a ton of players that are playing in mobile. We've actually got our own space upstairs. You can see behind me people getting ready to start their qualifying matches. I believe I have Tony Johnson, who is actually somewhere back there. You can't see him, but he's going to be calling some of the action as he plays through his qualifier. So we got a scheduled graphic we'll show a little bit later, but today is the mobile qualifying matches. Tonight is the handicap tournament for the arcade event, and then tomorrow we will do qualifying for the arcade game, and then the mobile event matches after that.
Yeah, hey Kevin, super excited to be here for the first mobile event. And let's get things going. I think we've got a second camera over
there
here.
There you
go. Are we just gonna start whenever? All right. So we're gonna start with Agave Ranch.
Appreciate you pulling off double duty, Tony. Not just playing in the event and qualifying, but also jumping on the headset here. This will be a lot of fun. Now, if you guys haven't done so already, I would be yelled at if I don't say this. Go to goldentee.com, download the mobile game for your Apple or Android device. If you haven't played it in a while, get back there, start playing again. We've got our Golden Tee, the 2020 Mobile World Championships coming up in less than a month now. So we'll spend a lot of time in Vegas, and qualifying for the 2021 World Championship is going to start not long after that.
And just so the viewers are aware, we're starting with Agave. We're going to play 5 full 18-hole rounds for the qualifier, and then tomorrow will be the elimination rounds.
Yeah, so as Tony was saying, these guys are going to go back and forth. So they'll play out a hole, and then we'll move on to the next one. Now
got a little out of sorts here on the first tee. I was just trying to knock it up there. It'll take a little getting used to playing, not just playing while I'm talking, but also playing every other hole. So it'll take a little getting used to. So then once there's a switch of honors, we'll switch over. So like if I would have pulled out on hole 1, I'd be leading off on hole 2, correct? Yep.
Longest drive ever. So these are actually, you guys can kind of see it with the, we've got iPads on stands, similar to what we will do for the Mobile World Championship coming up. So these, guys that are playing here today kind of adjusting. But that way it'll help keep everything fair and square, and everybody's playing on the same device. Ooh. It's going to take a while for me to get used to the crazy shots. I'm still not used to some of the shots myself and Adam have had to call over the year of Fight Club and Mobile World. Because I've seen some crazy shots in the arcade game.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of 1 irons, 2 irons, 3 irons that people send in low and screaming, because there's no such thing as a rollover in mobile.
What I'm hearing is that you would like there to be rollovers and there'll be a special ball you pay for to help prevent those, right?
No, I love the fact that there's no rollovers.
John Noble is counting the dollar signs back at IT's headquarters as we speak.
one of the things that so Joel's playing the hole right now, so I can chat a little. I had a discussion on Facebook with a newer player about sniper balls and how he uses a lot of them, and I think we all started that way. It's a very safe ball, and eventually what I found is that you transition from using a lot of snipers and then using a few more grabbers, and then one of the most recent transitions is transitioning from using a bunch of snipers. That last pin was a front pin, and it doesn't make sense to play a wind cutter or anything there. So I'd end up playing a lot more orbits and really ripping the ball back at the hole instead of just snipering and having it land. Gives a little bit more chance for a hole out.
And then just for our friends that are joining us now, you might see on the graphic it says Whammy versus Moneyball, but these are just the qualifying matches. So.
So right now I'm sitting across the table from Joel, and he looked like he was a little frustrated, so I'm feeling good. Although we're not technically competitors right now, like Kevin said, we're qualifiers, so we're teammates of sorts. That looked like an evil face. So I went over here to the right-hand side. Some people go that little finger to the left. I think we're a little more familiar with that spot on arcade, but I've always just gone over here. The elevation makes a lot more sense, or it's a lot more level over here, so I feel like the approach shot is easier and it's a bit more consistent. As soon as I talk about not using snipers, I of course use a sniper.
So this is one of those holes that I will say playing it in mobile is so much more different than playing in arcade.
Yeah, if it was arcade, I would just I'd high tee a 5-wood and smash it over the top of everything, but cannot do that.
Oh, a little bit short there in the mud.
Good to hear.
All right, so 6 after 5 there. And Tony, as Tony was saying earlier, so 5 18-hole courses to get qualifying scores in.
This is
Nice
going to be a
shot
long
there.
putt. We'll see.
Oh, look at that. You were a little worried there, Tony, but it doesn't seem to be a problem.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to this, the setup of this iPad, but we're getting there.
So how do you typically play?
I play. If we can, are we on the screen here?
Oh, nope, we switched you.
Oh,
That's all right. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it a little bit. Because I have honors now, right?
Oh, yeah, go for it. You're right.
This is a tee box we don't get a ton of on the pro side. Usually it plays a lot longer on this hole.
Particularly since we're not competing, and I don't really know
So we're going through, the guys are talking about kind of the way that we're doing the event here, kind of working it out as we, kick off this first ever mobile event. So the plan is going to be to start doing these at Power Events tournaments. So, you start to see both the arcade and the mobile. And it'll be it's nice too, because some of the mobile players that maybe don't play as much arcade can get sucked into that side and the crazy fun that people have at a tournament.
Yeah, and of course, like anything, the mobile side is starting, of course, lower than the arcade side, but the whole idea is get a lot of overlap of players, and as the World Championships is happening on the mobile side here in the next month, and then the qualifier starts after that. So looking to build some momentum and go from there.
Yeah, and if you guys aren't doing anything, Saturday, July 10th, we'll be live at the Nerd in Las Vegas. More than welcome to come hang out and attend the event. It's I know Andy Kuhlman, our director of Esports, and his team putting a lot of work into that. So it's very exciting. It's 2 years in the making, with last year being a little bit of an odd one for everybody. Oh, look at that! Nice shot, Tony.
Thank you.
With Worlds being a little bit of a weird, the world, not the world, but the world being a little bit on edge last year with everything, and now that things are starting to get a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more back open, it's really good to be back in an event. This is my first event since last March, so it's something you don't realize how much you miss until you get back in it. And like Tony was saying with the mobile event, it takes time to grow things, but this is fun and exciting that we're doing this.
Yeah, and it was great of PEGT to be supportive of having this here, and we appreciate them really supporting it and encouraging it.
Yeah, absolutely, and you'll hear this a lot throughout the weekend about everybody, but the Missouri Bluffs Golf Course, not our typical location at a golf course clubhouse, but the GM and his team, just even being here last night for the large group that was here, took care of us all night long until they kicked everybody out, and this a lot more space than we thought we were going to have. So this is nice. You guys saw it a little bit earlier. You can see it in the camera view behind Tony, but a lot of space to the point where the mobile folks have all their got tables for everybody pretty much up here.
Yeah, I know. Talking when we were setting up the fact that there'd be this mobile tournament here, Steve was a little bit worried about space, and he said, "Oh, there's an upstairs area that I think could work for some expansion," and he didn't. He underplayed the size of this upstairs area. I think this actually is a great venue. Yeah, there's some machines upstairs, and I'm sure it was a pain in the butt to carry some of those machines up here, but this is a great space up here.
Yeah, I mean, I even had a FaceTime call with Steve on Tuesday, and it looked a lot smaller than it is. So I'm really appreciative of the fact that both Steve from Power Events and the GM of the golf course here do whatever they can to accommodate everybody. It's been a lot of fun, and it's only been one day.
I thought it was just to me, and I realized it was to the group.
First chip of the day. Flop wedge. I'm not used to having one of those.
Yeah, so I'll talk through that a little bit while Tony prepares for a shot. So the way we're doing this with the iPads is, using kind of default account. So it's going to have everything unlocked. Players can use whatever equipment, get some time to dress up their golfer before the live stream. Nice chip. You've made the leaderboard.
So this is not my typical outfit, and as actually in between, I'm going to switch. I don't mind the pants, I don't mind the shirt, I don't mind the shoes, but the hat has got to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, the hat does not seem like your typical Typical Tony Johnson.
Achievement award. Oh, sorry, Joel. I've got a thumbs up here. I'm done with the hole. Let's go with a normal whammy. I don't know. What is this, Air Force helmet here? We'll go with that. While we're in here, I don't know. That shirt's pretty plain. Let's switch out the shirt.
You're spoiling it for everybody. You got to make them wait until they can see you.
Oh, I didn't. Hey, I can't know when people. Oh,
That's
I get.
true.
There's all these outfits that I'm not willing to pay a premium for. So.
It's not what I want to hear. John Noble is crying in his office.
Well, so here, while I've got John Noble's ear, I would say that let's offer a bundle of all of the available outfits for, like, let's say $10, and I think people would buy those. But it's that's $5 for one. But hey, they put me on the stream. They might not like everything I have to say.
You know, that's why we do it, though.
A rim shot, boom, psh. Oh. All right, I like that shirt. Doesn't go with the pants. We'll save it anyway. We're going to the back nine, right, Joel? All right. I will lead off the back nine.
Look at you go. We move on. We're just about to start the back.
Yeah, you use those free unlimited boosts.
Yeah, we're going to be down to 0 by the end of the weekend. Oh, 993. See if those last.
All right, so you guys are looking at hole 10 here. Nice little par 3. Tough win, or at least, you know, me being a terrible mobile player saying that, and then these guys will probably hit it pretty easy.
I mean, it's a tough win because it's 11, but with that back pin, being able to use the javelin cuts down that way. If it was a front pin and you had to use a grabber, then you wouldn't be able to use a javelin, so you don't get to cut the wind like. But the thing about this hole is it's a little uphill, so it throws off your distance just enough. The thing that I found, so the setup we have here, you've probably seen it on the screen, the iPads are kind of, I don't know, at a 60-degree angle, something like that. And it's not so bad for swiping. It's the aiming I'm still trying to figure out exactly how to aim correctly with. So the aiming might take me a little bit longer than normal.
Well, at least if you have a couple bad shots, you could just blame us.
Yeah, I'll blame the aiming.
Beautiful shot there. Wow, no shot points, huh?
7 feet.
Sounds like the Jim Z special from the arcade transitioned over to mobile pretty well.
The Jim Z special, what's that?
Oh, I just always blame Jim Zielinski when I can't when I get 6 feet,
yeah.
no shot points.
We call that the Kevin Lindsay special. We blame Kevin Lindsay for everything.
Oh, that's good. I appreciate it. Another good shot there.
All right, this is my first tip.
Let's
So
hear it.
there's a few holes that I have a memorized distance on. And we'll play a few of them, but this is one of them. I know that, let's take wind out of the equation for a second. If I hit this, if I hit a high tee, high loft driver with a wind cutter, it's going to roll out to 306 yards. That's what it's going to do every time. If I hit it 100% without the wind, it's going to roll out that far. And so we're at 301, and one of the things about that's different with arcade as opposed to mobile is that on mobile it's very math-based, right? If you can pull it back to 98%, it's going to go 98%, whereas on arcade it's a lot more feel-based. And so I want to take, with a 3-mile-per-hour tailwind, 301 yards. I want to take, let's say, 7 yards off of this. And so again, it's math. 7 yards off of 325 is 98%.
It's a lot of math. Not really, but
I've done it. Like it sounded more complicated when it was coming out of my mouth, but
no, it's good though. I mean,
if this goes in, it's going to be incredible.
ooh, you mean hashtag incredible, correct?
Yeah.
That was a beautiful shot though. Those wind cutters really make a difference. Should just change those over, call them stouts.
They're even better than stouts. I can't imagine what Brian Bernhardt would think about these golf balls. Well, the difference, so they are very much like stouts, like Kevin said. They cut the wind, as opposed to on arcade, the stouts cut the wind but don't explicitly say it, right? It still says 12 miles per hour, but you know it's 6 miles per hour. On here on arcade, or on mobile, I should say, it literally cuts the wind down on the screen. And it has a little bit of a almost like bite a little bit. It's like a.
Okay. I was just going to ask if there was anything else you felt you kind of got out of that.
It definitely doesn't roll out as much as a regular golf ball, but it's not like bite like we're used to bite on arcade, but it's kind of like that. That was a terrible shot.
Well, at least you're the one commentating on yourself, so you can say that. Nice putt. It's a little different too with you having the headset on. You know, I try to make sure I'm not talking in the middle of.
No, I appreciate that. I don't think it would matter, but I appreciate you being quiet there. That was, like I said, the aiming is the one thing that although that last shot sucked, other than the putt, the aiming is the thing that takes a little bit longer on this kind of almost vertical iPad.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be take some time getting used to for everybody. So while Joel is finishing up number 12 here, oh, that's a nice shot with backspin. You know, if you're just joining us, oh, that's a tough putt there. If you're just joining us, we are live at the Missouri Bluffs Golf Course, St. Louis, Missouri, or St. Louis, Missouri area. And, you know, this is our first ever mobile event, and we're kind of teaming up with Power Events Golden Tee tournaments. So be going back and forth between mobile and arcade throughout the weekend here. Beautiful shot. I was going to say, there's no way that's not within 6 feet.
Yeah, it depends on the camera angles can be a little deceiving on mobile. You don't have quite the control over them that you do on arcade, where you can switch and get different views, and sometimes you're beholden to the to a cruddy angle. That angle is fine, but the angles mess around with whether you think it's within 6 feet or not.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot too, especially, you know, last week when Adam and I were doing commentary for the 16th seed for the 2020 World Championship qualifying. There's a lot of shots. I felt like every other shot I was like, oh, there's the shot points, and then
Yeah.
There was none.
Yeah, no, it's and you know, we get a lot of shots within 10 feet, and so you get a lot of opportunities for like almost GSP. All right, let me focus on this for a sec. Yeah, I don't like that. Wasn't sure that 4 was going to clear. The 5 wasn't going to quite get there, so I switched to the 4. I wasn't sure it was going to get there or clear the cactuses, so I'm going around, playing a little safe, hopefully.
Yeah, it'll be fun and interesting. Oh,
That's fine. That's puttable.
Okay, good to know. But it'll be fun and interesting to see how, Tony, we actually both of us can speak on this. Playing in so many Golden Tee Arcade events, seeing how you notice during qualifying, and you'll see this tomorrow with players that, sometimes if you're newer to those events, the nerves change a little bit. It's not, it's not like you're playing at your local bar, and I feel like you're going to see a little bit of that too when it comes to mobile, where not everybody, people are used to playing at home on their own devices, and coming to an event, the first ever mobile event that we're doing.
Yeah, I think some of the guys that play a lot of mobile, we talk a lot, and I think some people think there's going to be an advantage to those of us that have played a lot of arcades. So it's me, Greg Kinsler, Evan Gossett, who are longtime arcade players. They're more successful arcade players than I am, but that have played a lot of tournaments and are playing in the Worlds for mobile. And the nerves are a real thing, man. It sucks. You hate it when it happens, and it's tough to look at, but it's a real thing. And so it'll be really interesting for a lot of guys who never really have been to a Golden Tee tournament to be at their first Golden Tee mobile tournament in Vegas and see what the nerves do to those guys.
Well, yeah, especially you talk about being in Las Vegas. That I feel like that changes the game a little bit up too.
for a few reasons.
I
Yes.
was just, after I said that, I was thinking, that could be taken a few different ways.
No, take it however you want.
I mean, it is Vegas, so we should probably take bets on who will be the first person to miss the first ever person to miss a mobile qualifier because they got hit too hard with Vegas.
Kevin, I was just telling this story earlier. I was talking with Mr. Golden Tee, a.k.a. Larry Foster, about he was old school. He played in Golden Tee, the national tournaments before I really even started Golden Tee, the late 90s. And we were talking about the nationals at that time. And I qualified for my first nationals in 2002, I think. Maybe it was 2003, but I think it was 2002. And I have the privilege of being the only alternate to never get into the nationals. Because it was always in Vegas. There was always people that missed their cutoff tee times, but not my year. My year, I was left out in the cold. There was not two people. There was one person. I was the second alternate. The first alternate got in, and I did not. So I am the only one that has never.
That is not necessarily something that you want to have.
I'm not. Yeah, it's not that I'm unproud of it, but it was too bad. But I had a good time regardless, because it was Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's funny you talk about the national tournaments in the late 90s because we used to do those. IT used to do those at our trade show, our Amusement Expo trade show. So we've definitely grown in the way we do events in the last 25 years. I don't care what kind of balls there are in mobile. Oh, I absolutely hate this hole. I hate it in arcade, and I hate it here.
Well, one of the big differences between mobile and arcade is the elevation makes so much bigger difference on mobile than arcade. And arcade, you never thought about the elevation of Agave 16, but on mobile, it's like, oh wow, it's way uphill. And you just it's never anything you thought about on arcade, but it's there, and until you mess it up a few times, you don't realize it.
Yeah, maybe that's one of the probably many reasons that I am terrible at Golden Tee Mobile is probably the elevation.
And I think with in general that the elevation was never too extreme. on Golden T-Mobile and any of the courses that have been used, but with Tundra Peak was the first one where it was like, wow, okay, now we're really messing with elevation here. So, which is a good thing. I like Tundra Peak. I had to play it 5 times this week for the league, but other than that, I really enjoy Tundra Peak.
It's a good shot. A little hot.
Yeah.
16-mile-an-hour wind, too.
Oh, I use that wind cutter, baby.
Sounds like we might have to charge you more for the wind cutters.
Oh, please don't.
With how much you guys are using them. I'm talking to John Neville right now. I'm gonna tell him.
I've noticed you guys have gotten smart and have it. Oh, yeah, sorry. Had javelin-specific sales. You know the way to our hearts. to sell us just a bunch of javelins and some gold, or maybe some epic chests. Those are the big ones too. Like we like javelins and we like to gamble. So let's get some javelins and some epic chests.
It's perfect. I've just relayed your request for more expensive wind cutters, and I will let you know. I will let you know what he says.
I'll take a 5% cut on that, by the way.
Yes. See what I could do. Well, after the call we had about ads this morning, we might have to be charging more for those wood cutters.
Ooh, we got.
I was gonna say
we
this
got
is
big crosswind here.
Down
And-
10, top right pin.
And the great thing about this hole, it's not a super difficult hole, but the down 10 means I'm almost certainly not going to use a jav. So I just have to deal with the fact that it's a 17 crosswind, and so you just gotta judge it. And so for me, I'm gonna use a sniper because I don't want it rolling around. And if it was a 13-mile-per-hour wind, so that's kind of my, I use the shot guide meter here as my aiming point. So that'd be about a 13. Since it's 17, I'm going to go a little further.
Ah, smart. I see exactly what you're talking about.
And just kind of, because like on, we talk about it on arcade, how a 10-mile-per-hour wind, I talk about it, moves.
Wow, that was beautiful.
A 10-mile-per-hour wind on arcade moves a 9-iron 1 click. Well, we don't deal with clicks here on Golden T-Mobile. We deal with, basically infinite aiming points. And so, yeah, so you have to be a little bit, so you end up using that, the shot guide for your aiming points.
Very smart. There's probably a lot of players out there who are like, you know what, maybe this will help me ever so slightly. I'm going to actually go try that later. It's probably not going to help me much, but I at least can say that I tried.
Yeah, one of the anchors is trying to figure out what the, and it's going to change a little bit with elevation because, like I said, on arcade or on mobile, the elevation has a big effect.
Wow,
but,
that's a good shot too with the super backspin.
But figuring out what one full width of that shot guide will affect for each club.
All right, so now that we are wrapping up the first round here at Agave Ranch, we're going to take a short break. We got to collect some scores and do some shuffling around, but we will be right back after this with more Golden T-Mobile action. All right, we are back here live at the Missouri Bluffs Golf Course for our very first Golden Tee Mobile event. We are playing Pine Coast. We just finished Agave Ranch in qualifying. You can see a handful of people behind me, and as well when we switch over to the other cam, people are already diving into Pine Coast. We're playing 18 holes of the 5 courses. So as you just saw, Tony and Joel went through the first 9 and the back 9. And I believe this is Joel teeing off here on hole 1.
So this is this is Tony. I'm teeing off first. We're gonna alternate holes, but not too much going on in this tee shot. Just knocking it out there. Pine Coast, I think, is the best match play course. Agave is a fun course because it's very scoreable, but there's not a ton of back and forth that happens a ton on Agave. Very much some back and forth that will happen, especially on the back 9 of Pine Coast. Not that Joel and I are competing against each other here, but in a match play situation, definitely a great course.
Yeah, it's a great point to make, Tony, especially tomorrow as we're playing, you guys are starting to play head-to-head matches, and we go through the bracket. Like you said, Agave, very straightforward, but Pine Coast, it'll be interesting to see the scores that you guys put up.
Yeah, par is 29, just like Agave, but it's a much more difficult 29 than Agave 29 is. New long putt record, 21 feet on this course.
Sweet. How many times is that going to get broken?
Hopefully none. Not that I'm missing putts, that I'm not going to close.
Now that's later's problem, right?
Yep.
But yeah, not too much action here on hole 1. You got to worry about the with that front pin. You got to worry about the sand a little bit, but shouldn't be too much of a problem here for Joel. Nice.
So here we're on hole 2, and if I was just trying to lay it up there real nice, this 9 wood looks like it's just perfect, especially with a javelin. Looks like 196, but something we talk about is stingers, and a stinger is a little bit like a chush in Golden Tee Arcade, and it's wanting to come in low and hot and take the breakout. And so here I'm using a 3-iron, a little bit of a right 2, so I scoot my aim to a little left, and only just take a tiny bit off this 3-iron, and then come in hot and hopefully get a hole in 1.
Oh, just missed it. Although that camera angle's tough, it's really hard to see just how close you got with that shot.
Yeah, it was within, a foot or 2, but yeah, whether it buzzed the very edge, who knows?
Well,
Tough
you
to
know
tell.
what? I'll talk you up. I'll say that you buzzed the edge.
It should have gone in, I think, Kevin.
And that's what it looked like to me over here.
Perfect. All right, old habits die hard. Even though I'm on a iPad here that has unlimited equipment, I just can't help myself from not using a gold tee or a super spin ball because those are expensive. So I used a silver with a streak.
I really do appreciate that. I'd hate to break the bank there with all those.
You're welcome,
those
John
tees.
Noble.
Saving John money and making John money.
I know, it's just all about John today. All right, I wish this 4-iron was just a little bit longer. I feel like that's going to come up just a little bit short because it's a little bit uphill. Again, if this was an arcade shot, a little bit uphill, not even thinking about it. But here it's just enough hill that I don't think it's going to get there. And especially early on in this course, you want those hole outs.
That's a good point. what I'm really looking forward to is seeing the next hole, the par 5, because there's tons of ways to play it on the arcade game. So I'm interested to see what you guys do with it here on mobile. Oh, right past the hole there for Joel.
So for me on hole 4, there's one way that I always play it, and that's go to this little sliver out here. You definitely can go over here. I haven't really found the advantage of going over there. Unlike where arcade, you can, depending on the setup a little bit, go straight at it and drive it. Definitely cannot in mobile. So for me, it's this island every time.
Interesting. All right, now, obviously, Tony, you're a really good player here at mobile, but how often do you find yourself going too far on that?
Oh, not too bad. You know, once you play it enough, you kind of understand it's a little bit downhill, so you're going to get a few extra yards. But for the most part, it plays pretty true. So it's not too, especially using a sniper. The sniper's a pretty safe ball. So the sniper, you have a lot more leeway. So again, this is uphill. So the Maniacs that I'm using adds some distance, but I think it's going to basically counteract the uphill here. And so hopefully that 7 wind counteracts the aim that I did. I'm going to take just a tiny bit off of this.
Oh, nice shot. Definitely GSPs there.
You nailed that one, Kev.
Yeah, it was pretty hard for me to screw that one up. All right, and then real quick, we'll just kind of, I want to run through some of the top qualifiers. Mr. Tony Johnson, 29 under. CJ 2-4, 28 under. Mr. Golden T, 23 under on Agave. So Moneyball with a 25. So some pretty solid scores. I won't call them out, but I appreciate Adam Fitzgerald playing mobile when he does them a lot.
CJ 2-4 is Jordan Scott, just so we're all. He likes to change his name. He's a very aggressive name changer. And
so what you're saying is we should start charging more for the name changes.
I would say that you already changed definitely. You already charged definitely enough.
John Noble, are you hearing this?
You're done, Joel. Yeah, all right, my turn. So, how aggressive?
I think you should get real aggressive.
All right, Kevin says aggressive.
Be aggressive.
All right. So, like I said, with mobile, like it's not just math, but it's a lot of math. I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot of math, but so if I take 10 yards off of this 320, it's going to go 310. Now we've got a little wind and a little downslope, but you get the idea. It's gonna roll out about that far. So there's no reason if I take, let's say, 13 yards off of this, it wouldn't be just about perfect. Clip the fringe.
Okay, I was gonna say it went by so quick.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Well, we've got the. I always do. I've got the quick shot on. It definitely clipped that front, either fringe or rough, to take a ton of speed off of that. If that would have landed on the green, it would have. I'm not sure it necessarily would have gotten all the way to the hole, but it would have been pretty close. But that, with this javelin specifically, it takes a ton of distance off to have it hit the fringer or rough.
so Joel's got a chip here for eagle, and you see he's kind of adjusting his pullback to see how far he wants it. Oh! A little too far there, right over in the sand. Look at that. Nice chip to save. This is another one of those holes that translates really well from arcade to mobile.
Yeah. One of the things that I've said, and I've done a little bit of like course rankings, like, oh, what courses would be fun to bring over from Golden Tee Arcade to Golden Tee Mobile, and it's a lot of times it's the one with the funkiest greens, not in terms of like the slope, but the shape. I think funky shaped greens on mobile are a lot of fun, and certainly there are a lot of funky ones on Pine Coast, and this is one of them. So I feel like the first 6 holes of this course, you're just trying for hole outs. And from hole 7 until hole 18, you're holding onto your shorts a little bit. It's a lot of drop stroke opportunities, and a lot of just trying to get it within 15 or 20 feet of the hole.
Yeah, that's not surprising at all with this course. It's a doozy for sure.
I know some people go kind of left of those bunkers. I've gone over to this area over here every time. Just it's not a difficult enough shot in to justify a little bit of risk of trying to hug those bunkers at all. So.
All right, for our friends just joining us, right now you're watching Joel Moneyball. We've got Tony Johnson, who's Whammy, on the other side, who's also doing double duty while playing his qualifying matches and commentating. So appreciate you again for doing that, Tony.
You bet.
Plus, when you screw up shots, it's much better if you call yourself out than me.
Yeah, I not too many bad ones, but I had an especially bad couple on Agave that were definitely worth saying were total trash.
You know, I try my best to be nice.
No, get savage, Kevin.
Oh, it'll happen. Don't you worry.
All right.
This is only.
You just wait for elimination rounds to get really savage?
Yeah.
All right.
You know, it is only Friday. I got to save it.
So this is a pretty tucked pin over here. But I think this this wind combination with a little bit of downhill means I need to take just a little bit off.
Wow. For a second there, I thought that was going to have to be a shot that I called you out on.
Me too, Kevin. Actually, I was pretty worried about that one in midair. Worked out all right for me.
That's good, though. Every once in a while, you need a shot like that.
Yeah. Shot of adrenaline to the system.
All right, Joel with a very similar shot. Got some love. Got some love for the fringe. But that's all right, though. You guys got those putts in. That's all that matters.
Absolutely. Like I said, you're some of these holes, especially with cruddy setups, you're just kind of hanging on for dear life on these holes coming home. So every time I play this hole, I think of Mike Smith, pluck hole. I was playing a streaming match against Mark Duchesne, and I was 2 better, feeling really good about myself, feeling like I was going to win the match, and I did, or a 100 gold contest, and then Mike came in here and shoved a hole in one of my face and snatched victory from me. So this hole is for you, Mike.
Oh. Honestly, I thought you had the ace there. I would have appreciated that.
I'm not going to lie, Kevin, I wanted it, but you know, it's kind of a crapshoot with that orbits. Like I said, one of the things that I've started to incorporate a lot of is the orbits to the front pins rather than just a sniper and be happy that you're 15 or 20 feet past. And it takes a lot of getting used to, but definitely worth it to mix in just a couple more hole outs into your game.
Oh, look at that. Is it? Well, you can't see it, but Joel just had a beautiful shot there.
It sounded like GSP in my ears.
It did. There, yeah. All right, so
I keep
these
wanting
guys
to triple tap.
are just getting finished with Pine Coast, the front 9. We are going to take a look at the back 9. As Tony said, and if you're just joining us now, Tony Johnson playing in the qualifier, but also has a headset on doing commentary, kind of walking and talking through some of his shots. The back 9's pretty tough. It's tough in the arcade game. It's definitely tough in mobile. So let's take a look and see. Let's see what Joel does here on the drivable par 5.
Are you going to go around the trees or through the trees, Joel?
Yeah, walk me through the ballsiness of the through the tree shot, because I've seen this a couple times and I don't
believe there's actually any ballsiness involved.
Really?
It's basically not there. Just pretend the tree's not there and just go right through it.
So it just doesn't.
It doesn't. It literally doesn't do anything.
Oh, perfect.
Of course, as soon as I say that, it's gonna do something. But I've hit it 100 times and it's never done anything. So.
All right. Well.
I don't know why I would start now.
John Noble. Let's
no,
fix
please
it.
do fix it. I think it should be fixed. But please, if you're going to fix it, please announce it, so that I don't try a couple times and just plow it straight into the tree.
How much is it worth to you? How many gold bars?
Oh gosh, everything's monetized for Kevin Lindsay.
Now I learned from the best, John Noble and Don Pescioni.
This is to me a little bit of a difficult shot, and it probably shouldn't be, but it's maybe a little bit longer than I'm comfortable with.
I was gonna say, is it the distance more than anything for
Yeah,
you?
I'm actually gonna go to a Maniacs just to get a little bit more distance, but I'd prefer to hit that wind cutter and take that 10 out of play, but I'll just play this and take a tiny bit off and cut a little into the wind.
Oh, look, John Noble has already responded to me.
Yeah. We've got a significant audience from IT, that's for sure.
He's literally IT's IT. Oh, that looks good. Okay, I'm really glad that didn't fall in the water, because then I would have felt like an ass. I would have truly felt like a jerk.
At least you didn't call GSP on it, Kevin.
Yeah. It's either GSP or please don't go in the water. Especially when I say good shot. Now, for our friends that are watching us here, whether you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, whatever the case may be, make sure you guys are liking our pages and following and subscribing. You know, a lot of action to come. We are less than a month away until the 2020 Golden Team Mobile World Championships in Las Vegas at the Nerd. So if you happen to be free, I do know that it's going to be really damn hot. So, you know, come out to Vegas, enjoy Vegas, see us at our very first Mobile World Championship, and then not long after that, qualifying for the 2020 event will start. And I'm sure that you'll see a lot of the guys here that are playing in this event. Maybe not Adam Fitzgerald, but that's okay. We still love him. But I say that because him and I are good friends. But you know, you'll see a lot of these same faces in Las Vegas for not only the Mobile World Championship for 2020, but also probably the 2021. And I don't know if we've announced this yet, but maybe I'll do it here because this is a special event. It's our first mobile event. There is a new course coming soon, I believe by the end of the month. So we'll see how much I like you guys by the end of this stream today, and I'll tell you. I'll see if John Noble wants me to announce it. I mean, we're fixing trees that don't have collision on it, so I think the least I can do is tell you there's a new course coming. And I actually, to be honest, as I was talking about it, forgot what the course is. So I'll have to get back to you guys on that one. But new course is coming. Mobile team's working hard on a lot of different features. So it's exciting. There's a lot going on right now.
Sorry I took a little extra time to play that hole. I was just waiting for that massive announcement. We've noticed a little pattern that a new course gets released every 9 weeks. And so
Okay.
we've been waiting for the announcement of the new one, which should be, I don't know, am I allowed to make an announcement here?
Do you know it?
I don't know the course. I know the date, though.
Oh, sure. I'm sure at this point we'll just push it back.
June 26th.
All right, John, we're pushing that back a week. I don't even have to talk to John on Teams. I'll just talk to him through the live stream here. And for those of you that have never had the pleasure of talking to John Noble or meeting him, you really should. John is our Vice President of MIS, basically IT, and also Vice President of Mobile Development. And, you know, he's leading the charge in the team that helps make a lot of things run, ITNet. So if ITNet goes down, you can blame John Noble because he's in charge of them. Or if the mobile servers ever go down, that's also John's fault. But we still love him anyways. But no, John is great, and he's taken the excellence of Golden Tee Arcade, and him and his team have built, you know, this mobile game that we're here having an event for. And, you know, like I said, and you'll hear me say this a lot, wow.
That was a little dicey.
That was a little dicey, but you got the bounce off the rocks at least.
Kissed off the top of the hill there. We'll take it.
As long as it's not in the water, that's all that matters. Josh Carlson on YouTube says Royal Dubai. That would be a fun one. I don't know if that one's in the works, but you know,
that was definitely one that I like to rank the courses. I like to state my opinions, and that was definitely one that got a high ranking. And I think it would pair well with Agave in terms of the night course theme. So that one was definitely ranked high on my. Hopefully it gets converted over rankings.
Yes. Okay. So John did just tell me what the course was, and it is not Royal Dubai, but I won't let the cat out of the bag yet. I'll let you guys wait a little bit longer. I will tell you what, though, I played a little bit of Pine Creek, which is our Golden Tee 3D Golf remaster course on the arcade side that is actually today's Freaky Friday. And I feel like some of those old 3D golf courses, just like Tropical Falls, are for remaster course that made its way to mobile. I think some of those old 3D golf courses would actually be a lot of fun on this as well. So,
was that a hint, Kevin?
No,
okay.
I wish it was. That was actually me communicating that to John that I want a 3D golf course. I want some red sands. I want some Pine Creek. I want some Coral Ridge.
Saguaro, what was that?
Oh yes, that was 2000, I believe. Golden Tee 2K. Oh, look at Jay Huber, our I don't even know what his title is now because he does a lot of IT as well, but worked closely with him throughout the years. But he does a lot with the servers of mobile because I just got the message, don't jinx those mobile servers. So you know, and a little birdie Tony told me you are close in your date, but you're off a little bit.
Whatever that Monday is. Although, you know, you guys did throw a little curveball with Crawdad. Typically, the back nine follows 2 weeks after the front nine, but you guys had your the big Worlds qualifier, which was awesome. That bonus week 16 was super fun to watch and to kind of participate in from afar. And so that one delayed the release of Crawdad back nine, which is a super fun 9 holes. Love Crawdad back nine.
Yeah, Crawdad, whether it's Golden Tee 4, Golden Tee Live, or mobile, that one is a beast of a course, but it is a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see it be played, you know, this weekend.
Joel, you're playing 15, right? Okay, just feel like we got a little out of sorts there.
Wow. You can't see it, Tony, but you guys are playing the fringe for sure throughout this the back of this course.
So this is a fun hole. It's with this one, I feel like I gotta just the maniacs would be a play here with maybe the 3-wood or the high loft driver, but I'm gonna hit this regular driver, kind of hug that tree and let the left 6 kind of take over, and hopefully roll down near the hole.
So Sweaty Spaghetti asks, which I love the YouTube name, by the way.
Long drive on the green.
Can you use a stylist? So I'm going to turn towards our director of esports, just specifically because I knew he was going to give me that look of no, absolutely not. I just wanted to see his reaction to it. And Chris Crane, yes. So we will throw the stream graphic up here in a little bit before we go to our next break. But we've got the mobile qualifying right now. Later tonight, I'm going to try to squeeze in a Freaky Friday before handicap tournament tonight, but we'll have to see. And then we have handicap tournament tonight. Then tomorrow we switch to the arcade qualifiers, and then we will play the matches for Gold Team Mobile tomorrow night. Ooh, tough shot there by Joel, but at least he caught the sand, didn't go in the water.
So I know what Joel's dealing with right now, and I'm going to have to hit it to the very, very end of this. And I still don't think I'm going to be able to get there in 2, but the very end of this fairway / first cut, just to give myself a chance. But that 16 headwind is just a killer on this setup.
Yeah, I feel like the couple times that I've played this course recently, I've had bad winds that just make me hate this course and this hole specifically even more.
Step 1, end of the fairway.
Tell you what, though, that water looks great. Just don't land in it.
Yeah. So I mean, I do not think this is going to quite get there. I think it's going to land just on either in the right side of the bunker on the upslope, but we'll give it a go anyway. But it can't play any longer than it does right here. Yeah. Sometimes this hole is just shut down in terms of getting there in 2.
Yeah, I don't know if there's too much, unless John Noble wants to create a super ball that you can pay extra for, but, you know.
I'd pay it.
All right. You heard it here first.
Terrible chip.
All right, so Tony, I'm told to ask for you to buy a round of drinks for the guys from Apollo Fury.
Oh,
Kitty.
yes. So we haven't even talked about it on the stream, and my intention wasn't to, but so Joel and I are part of a team of 6 guys that runs Golden Team Mobile, the league. Shameless plug.
I love it.
So gtmtheleague.com if you want to just see some information. Anyway, Apollo Fury is a player that is in the gold division, and for the foreign guys, so it's a relatively small buy-in every couple months, and for the foreign guys, because of the PayPal fees going back and forth, I tend to run a tab. So Apollo Fury has been a very successful player, so he has a little tab going, and so he's asked me to buy a round for the guys that are here with us today. So I will do that. Thank you for reminding me, Neil.
And hopefully that includes your production guys too, right?
Production, yes. Microphone talent, no.
Ah, damn it. All right. David E says, I'd be at +12 if I was playing with a stand. Yeah, as Andy Kuhlman kind of pointed out in the chat to some of our viewers, it's they're not playing on their personal devices. They're playing on, you know, stands and iPods on stands. So it is a little bit different. And, you know, all right, Tony, talk us through hole 18 here.
So you've got, there's all 4 tee boxes are a little different. And on pro, you only get probably 2 of these tee boxes typically on the pro difficulty. Sometimes you can go move it this way and kind of go around right to left. You're probably not seeing my screen, but I'll wait to talk until Joel gives me the thumbs up and the screen goes over to me.
Sweet. I wish you could see a screen because this one tree looks like a zebra, and I just want to point that out. It actually looks pretty awesome. This course, that was a beautiful shot. He used a sniper 9 feet away, kind of scared the hell out of me.
All right, so certainly could go this way, and I'm not going to be able to look up, but if you could look up, you'd kind of wrap it around this tree. I might actually go that way. Very common, I would go this way, and actually I probably will go through this gap with a medium tee driver.
Okay.
Some people, and I don't know the shot, so some people will literally kind of go through the tree, kind of like we did on hole 10. I don't think it's as necessary as it is on hole 10, so I don't mess around with it. But in this case,
does this tree actually have collision on it, or I have to have John?
I think this one takes a little distance off, kind of like it should.
Right.
But not like hole 10. So I'm gonna. So it's got to be a driver because the medium tee is the right height. I'm gonna have to take some distance off of this and just go for it.
Oh, wow.
That was close.
That was amazing because I'm also watching your reaction to it. That was even better probably than the shot. I thought that iPad stand was going to go flying.
I was really happy with that shot. I was not expecting it to be nearly that close.
Well, I'm glad. I'll pretend that I helped get that out of you by having you talk through it.
So are we rolling straight into next course? Tundra? Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to do a quick break so we can grab the scores from everybody. But as always, like, follow, subscribe wherever you're watching this. At Golden Tee on all the social medias. We'll have a lot more content that we're posting throughout the weekend here. If you guys are within driving distance, or even if you're not within driving distance, you still got plenty of time to get out here. The main event with the arcade qualifying does not start until tomorrow. So you got time to get here. I know there's a handful of people that are going to be rolling into the course as we get started tomorrow. So PEGTtour.com to see all the information for the location and the event. And of course, GoldenTee.com for everything Golden Tee. So we'll take a short break, and then we'll be back with more Golden Tee mobile action. All right, just kidding. We're back. We missed you guys so much. We're going to keep the action rolling while these guys get the scores. But what you guys just saw, a little bit of a teaser, the Golden Tee PGA Tour Edition. If you haven't heard of it by now, well, then I have not been doing my job right the last couple of months. Partnering up with the PGA Tour to bring real PGA Tour courses to Golden Tee Arcade. We got plenty of time this weekend to talk about that, but now we're rolling in to Tundra Peak. This one's another doozy of a course.
Yeah, this course is stressful. The front nine is pretty straightforward, but there's some every mistake on this course just feels amplified compared to other courses, and some of that is at times if you miss your shot, you're falling off the green into oblivion, and it costs you 2 strokes every time. So in a lot of cases, if you screw up a shot in Golden Tee Mobile, you lose in 1 stroke, but in this case, a lot of times you're losing 2 strokes. So it's just it's a stressful course, but it's also a great course.
Yeah, hopefully you guys, we don't see a lot of that happening here. I would hate to have to break out the criticisms you were telling me to break out, Tony. But quickly, I want to just give a shout out to everybody that's watching live. Greg Kinsler, Wes Jones, a lot more people, David E., Rich Flynn, a lot of people on Facebook and YouTube as well. Thank you guys for joining. Greg, I know you're about 5 hours away because that's what it took me to get down here. Oh, wow. You love them GSPs, but apparently you do not love the bottom of the cup.
I know, I haven't gotten a hole out yet. Yeah, it's, you know, the idea is to get it to be near the hole, and sometimes it's going to go in and sometimes it doesn't. Take that where you want it. I'm looking at hole 2 here. I know Joel's playing hole 1. I'm looking at hole 2, just trying to figure out how I can drive this sometimes drivable par 4.
Yeah, it's funny to see, you know, for all the years that a lot of us have played Golden Tee Arcade and, you know, those holes that we kind of call fringe drivable, sometimes not. And then seeing how that translator doesn't translate to mobile is pretty interesting. I know Tundra is one of those courses that the team had actually put new tee boxes in specifically for mobile.
Yeah, that was definitely the first thing we noticed on Tundra was the fact that there were different tee boxes than we were used to seeing.
Ooh, good shot there by Joel.
Whether it's not in the pro setup, it's definitely not drivable ever. Definitely from the front of this tee box, I don't know. In novice settings, it could be, but from pro, it's never drivable. But what I have been doing is trying to get it up there as far as possible. And actually, I don't think this is going to be a good setup for it, but a 9-wood chip is actually an interesting shot here.
9-wood chip. All right, that's the it's the first time I'm hearing of that.
Yeah, I mean, it plays pretty true distance. So if this was flat and it was 76 yards, you know, you hit whatever the math works out to, 76 yards out of 206 or whatever the 9-wood goes. But with the pin so close to the front of the screen, it doesn't make sense to play that shot. But definitely. There we go. That was for Kevin.
You know what the best part is? I was about to ask you a stupid question of how come you're using the wind cutter and you're not, you know, using some backspin, and then you drop it in the cup. So there's my answer before I even asked the question.
Yeah, I mean, the crosswind is definitely going to be a lot more detrimental to a hole out than the distance. You can always kind of run the ball, but if your aim's messed up by a 9-mile-per-hour crosswind, it just makes it a lot more difficult. So, especially with a wedge.
All right, so Chad Shrump says, if anyone sets a camera up on me with the same angle as TJ has, we're fighting.
I know, seriously. We've talked about this camera angle.
All right, let's see if Joel can do the same. Oh, right on by. Nearly dropped it in. All right, so Tony, as we take a look here at hole 3, the par 3, you know, a bit of an elevation change, which you definitely get on Tundra pretty often.
Yep.
You know, what would you say are the biggest changes you've seen on Tundra coming from the arcade, playing it on mobile?
Again, it's all about the elevation. You wouldn't think a ton about the elevation on this shot on arcade, at least I wouldn't. But here, you know, you can see my cursor says 172 and the pin is 174. So you'd think, okay, it's going to be a little short, but the elevation is going to make a huge difference. Also, the down 3 is going to make a big difference too. So I'm going to take like, I don't know, 9 yards off of this and rely on the elevation and the down 3 to kind of get it hopefully down close to the hole.
Yeah, you see right now you're seeing Joel kind of do the same, and then it's a good shot.
And that's tough. Like in order to really die that last shot at the hole, you would have had to really flirt with that front edge, and it's just not worth it. So I probably maybe should have played a grabber, but I was pretty confident that the wind cutter would be safe and give it a chance, but probably not going.
Still a good shot, though. So, Rich Flynn, Golden Tee friend from the UK, thanks for joining us as always. Says, do we get to see gameplay after half a dozen beers? Which,
too late.
Yeah,
you've been watching it.
Andy Kuhlman has appropriately responded by saying, after half a dozen beers, arcade handicap will be what we're streaming tonight, and not wrong there. This
is one Coors Light right here, but you know, I've had a six-pack, but I've been here a while. You know, I got into St. Louis this morning. I've had a couple, but you know, it's a fine line. My gameplay improves until it quickly falls off a cliff. So hopefully we don't find that cliff while this stream is going on.
Literally the cliff of Tundra. Oh, thought you had a chance there. You know who I'm sad was not able to make it to the tournament this weekend is that Bigfoot creation. I think that is on here. What is this, hole 4 at Tundra? I believe he's here on mobile too, creeping around the course. I'm sure there's a video somewhere of somebody bouncing golf balls off of his head.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the graphics team or the dev team, but it's been pretty true to what other than a couple of tweaks on Tundra that we talked about, pretty true to the Bigfoot being on hole 4 there, and for the most part, staying pretty true to the original design. So most of the time on this one, I'm hitting a driver and I'm maybe clearing this rock, but this is kind of a weird setup with that pin all the way up, so I'm gonna kind of purposely hit that rock a couple times with the 3-wood, which is not a shot I play a ton, but we'll see. Yeah, I was always going to kind of leave a long putt. Another long drive on a green hit.
Just want to give you those opportunities. You've never turned down a long drive.
And a long putt. It's a leaderboard kind of hole there.
There you go, breaking all the records.
Since we're, it seems like we have a straight line to John Noble here. Can we get some middle pins on this hole here? I'm sorry, I'm looking at hole 6 now. Joel's looking at hole 5, but hole 6, every pin is right at that back edge, and it's just, you just can't go after it.
Yeah, I will. I'll talk to John to see if we can make some things happen.
Of all the, look at this. Of course, it's right in the middle.
See, look at, he already did it for you.
John, that was amazing stuff.
John is a great. I was talking him up earlier, but truly, just the moment you go to tee, come on, you had to know that was going to happen. That you asked for something,
I
and
know,
then
it was
boom,
incredible.
it's done. Hashtag incredible. Now, last time I almost asked you how come you're using the wind cutter instead of backspin, and you hold it out. So I'll save the question. Hopefully, get the same effect.
What?
All right, now
I misjudged that elevation there.
All right, good, because now I feel terrible. Now you just get to show off your chipping skills.
Let's see, my 60 degree iPad chipping skills here.
Actually, since we've got the line in at John Noble, Chad Trump brings up a great point. The New York course is desperately needed. And if you're not familiar with Golden Tee Arcade, that is Rustic Bridge from Golden Tee Live 2007. But I do request if we bring them over that the models, or like the 3D models of the people that walk and run the course do not change, that we still use those 2007 graphics, because at this point they're just classic.
Those, that's probably one of my favorite courses in live history, is Rustic Bridge. I think it's just a really great course.
Yeah, that's one of the courses that once we brought Golden Tees to the old courses, I feel like got even more fun than it was before, especially just those fringe drivable holes.
Yep, I agree. Oh, very close.
I say that was another close one, Tony. I don't know, those beers might be helping you get in your groove.
Blue Mountains of Coors Light.
Yeah, and you guys, you're going to probably start hearing some noise in the background because we are in the upstairs area of the Missouri Bluffs Golf Course, and you'll see it once we show, some more cameras in between these qualifying. Oh, wow, Joel almost one-hopped it right into the cup. That was pretty nice. But now people are starting to get back from golf. It's starting to get hot out. You got people just playing in the golf tournament here at the course, which is completely separate from the Golden Tee tournament. And so now you're starting to hear some more noise as people get in, play these arcade machines behind as the mobile qualifier go on. Nice chip there by Joel.
So on this hole, you can get to the green this way. I feel like it's a really dicey shot, and you're going to use a special ball regardless of if you use it on the tee shot and go this way, or the not tee shot and go that way. So I always go over here. And if I've got a tailwind, I won't use a Maniacs, but in this case, without a tailwind, I'm going to use a Maniacs just to make sure. Because this is one of those holes that if you screw up the drive, if I would have ended up off the edge there, it would have cost me at least 2 strokes. And so
yeah, I was going to say,
want to do that.
I remember you talking about that earlier, and I figured this is probably one of those holes.
Yep.
I mean, this might only be hole 8, but this is a tough one. Nice shot there, Tony.
My miss is definitely to the right. I've got to adjust to that a little bit. Maybe I just need to angle this stand a little bit to the left.
So currently, Tony, you'll appreciate this in the in the chat here. A lot of people going back and forth about the interesting areas that they play Golden Tee Mobile at. Whether they're actually true or not, I don't know. But you guys, whether it's arcade players or mobile players or both, you guys are always a treat. You guys are a lot of fun. And hopefully, all of you that are watching, are able to make it out to an event sometime this year.
Well, and Joel, who I'm playing with in this qualifier, and like I said, is one of the other people that helps run the league. Barely has touched arcade ever. but up until a couple months ago, and he's played a little bit, and he's going to be playing. He played in the closest to the pin last night. He'll play in the handicap tonight. He'll play in the main event tomorrow, and so you know, there's fun to be had all weekend, even if you're an arcade player that wants to hop in and play some mobile, or if you're a mobile player that wants to hop in and play some arcade.
No, it's great. You know, Josh Mertzig, Adam Fitzgerald, you know, arcade players that maybe don't play mobile as much. I don't know. I think Josh has been playing a lot more, but it's fun to see some of these guys. And I know I've talked to a few people before the event. You know, you're going to see some of these mobile guys playing in the arcade event for the first time probably ever this weekend, and I'm excited. It's great to see, you know, the two games come together like that, and it's going to make two great events even better.
Another leaderboard made. Eat your heart out, Gordon. You eagle that one, I assume, Joel?
All right, so you guys are all wrapped up. The front nine. Back nine's going to be tough.
Yeah, there's, you know, like we talked about hole 8, you know, not a difficult hole, but definitely one if you screw up is going to cost you some strokes. There are some definitely holes on the back nine that are difficult, and if you screw up, cost you a couple strokes. So. Someone got GSP.
Now, what we really need to do is get the snow to affect the ball. That's what I want to see. Is the snow looks beautiful here on Tundra, but I want to see that.
My favorite is when a Tundra hole is included in Freaky Friday, and then the snow ends up on another course. So you'll get like snow on Desert Valley. That's always fun.
We did that just for you guys.
We appreciate it. It's all the little touches.
Jason Edwards says, anyone else want to see Larry shotgun a beer in the background? It's pretty hilarious. 383-yard drive.
Little to no effort at all.
Are you going to get a long putt record here too?
I hope not. I think this is going to rip back at the hole and be about 3 feet away. That's my guess.
Oh.
Nope. That's judged.
I'm just really disappointed that you're not going to get a long putt record.
Well, it's up to like 28 feet now. I think I got a 28 footer on something like that on hole 5. I think was the.
No, didn't you get one not too long ago? I thought you broke that record.
I got a 21 early on, and then maybe I'm mixing up courses. Maybe that was the last course, but there'll be opportunities. The problem with hole 15 and 16 specifically are very difficult, and you're happy to be on the green, but they're also huge breaking greens, and so you might have a 60 footer, but it might be a left 9 or something, so it can be pretty difficult. You're just kind of hitting and hoping at that point.
It's a good shot there by Joel, Mr. GSPs.
Some people like to lay up short of that, like, I don't know, it's not a cross bunker, but it's a cross ice. I like to go over it. It cuts down the elevation change a little bit. It makes it a little bit easier second shot. even though I had to use a premium ball there.
Well, you know, John Noble is sitting in his office. Actually, he's probably sitting at home, working from home today, counting the dollar bills, the stacks of dollar bills from all the balls that you're buying.
Well, good news for me is all of these are on IT's iPads, and so
That is also
these
true.
are all I'm paying you with your own golf balls.
Hey, you know, it'd be like that sometimes. Can we also talk about how it's already June 11th? You know, I don't know where the time has gone, but I am very excited to finally be out and about at a Golden Tee tournament. You got the first mobile event happening right now. I'm Kevin Lindsay. You're also listening to Tony Johnson, who is playing in the qualifier as Whammy. He's the one dressed up. Well, he changed his outfit. He threw everything off and changed his outfit. But you're taking a look at Moneyball right now. This is Joel in the all-gold outfit. All gold, did I say that right? Yeah, tongue twisting already. Gonna try to squeeze in a Freaky Friday daily contest on the arcade side for you guys before the handicap tournament here. Breaking out Pine Creek, our Golden Tee 3D Golf Remaster course that is released for all modes of play on Monday. There's a lot going on today. A lot of exciting stuff.
Luna's in the house, not the Luna that some of you Golden Tee Mobile players are familiar with. A different Luna entirely.
The real Luna?
The real Luna.
Chris, that is the plan. We are planning on doing this for the remaining PEG tournaments this year. You know, so again, shout out to Steve Sobel and Paige Gossett and Russ Layton from Power Events for letting us get in here and you know, provide an event inside of another event. There's you know, it was about time that we crossed things over. And so far, after one day, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think you know, everything has to get started and starts from a point, and I think that's what this is all about. Having this tournament, having the Worlds in Vegas, and kind of building on that momentum and really building the Golden Tee Mobile player base into something that hopefully will someday get to the awesomeness that is the Golden Tee Arcade player base.
Yeah, that's the hope, you know. And if you're watching this here and you know, are not playing Golden Tee Mobile, but you're sitting on your couch doing nothing, you're not hanging out, doing anything, you're not here live in St. Louis, go to goldentee.com, go to the App Store, go to the Google Play Store. I don't care whose device it is. I don't know if it's yours, your family's, whoever it is, and download Golden Tee Mobile today. Get started, play, you know, because these events, like Tony said, you start somewhere. These events are going to get bigger and bigger. 2 World Championship events happening this year, the 2020. That's happening live in Las Vegas on Saturday, July 10th at the Nerd, and then to be announced when we're going to have that 2021 World Championship for mobile. But qualifying starts, I would say, probably sometime early July after Mobile 2020 Worlds is completed. So, you got plenty of time to get out there and play, or download it on somebody else's phone and make them play and see what happens.
Kevin, while you were talking there, I did set a new course record with a 22-foot putt, so that's
right.
our current tracking line.
So
right
now we're going backwards?
Yeah, the 28 must have been last course.
All right, and Barrett Determined, I don't know if that's his real name or if I'm just probably butchering it, but he says can't wait for Vegas. You know, even if you're not qualified for the Mobile Worlds. That's okay, that's what I thought. I was like, the name sounds familiar, but I'm terrible at names and remembering them and not butchering them. So, oh, stop. That ice is always a lot of fun to chip out of. It really is.
So I don't know what Joel did in terms of his tee shot. I tend to always kind of do a Maniacs with a 3-wood or a high loft driver over the edge here and just kind of ride the wind and ride down that kind of that gully a little bit. And sometimes it ends up in the first cut, and sometimes it ends up in the fairway. So that's exactly where I want to be right there. A lot of times it's going to end up in that. It doesn't give on mobile. It doesn't tell you what your lie is. On arcade, it's called. I can't remember what it's called. It's a unique. That green stuff is a unique type of surface.
Now, how often do you find yourself having trouble with this hole, if at all?
It's definitely a hole that needs a lot of thought, because a lot of times you're hitting from the rough, or what acts like rough, and a lot of times you're coming in from a little bit lower elevation. I'm pretty even here. It's a little bit uphill, so usually I'm hitting this with a lot of safety. In this case, it's a pretty good setup with this javelin from the fairway, so I'm going to give this a little bit of a run. Nothing too aggressive, but probably take 13 yards off of this to make it a 220 club, maybe a little bit more than that, and see if we can't scare the hole a little. Another thing actually that I haven't talked about is the stance. So the stance affects it a lot as well. So I had a little bit of a downhill stance that I didn't. It's tough to factor in because you don't know, is my stance 1 degree downhill or 30 degrees downhill, and on Golden Tee Arcade that has no effect whatsoever. If you hit it full, it's going to go full. Whereas on mobile, it definitely has an effect on distance, and so in that case, it's just a tough thing to judge. So sometimes you've got a stance issue, a little bit uphill, out of the rough. A lot of times, just kind of a safety sniper to leave yourself a 20-foot putt into the green. Sorry if I talked over a good shot from Joel there.
No, actually, kind of had he's stuck at the top of the hill in the snow.
Not the worst spot.
Yeah,
really.
True. I would say after I said that, there's probably a lot more that could be happening. Man, that ice is not as bounce forgiving as it is in arcade. But Joel's got to be careful here, because, like you said earlier, the last thing you want to do is go off the edge.
Especially from the tee box. If I was to go off the edge on my tee shot, it would put me back on the tee, and it would not give me the option for a re-tee. It would put me on there as if it was fairway, and that's actually note to John Noble. That's something that they actually do on arcade. On arcade, if I was to put it over the edge on this, it would let me re-tee it with a high tee, gold tee. On mobile, for whatever reason, I think because it's out of bounds, for whatever reason it doesn't. So this hole, as well as hole 18, are pretty unforgiving if you mess it up.
It was a beautiful shot, Tony.
Definitely very happy with that result.
I was hoping that it would bounce a little bit farther in the cup, but I guess beggars can be choosers, right?
No, I'd take that 100 times out of 100. That was, I wasn't totally sure how that Maniacs was going to react into that down 6 green, but I was pretty sure it was going to work out okay. But you never know. And again, like I said, if that would have gone overboard, that would have been a 3-stroke, basically a 3-stroke penalty.
It Now this hole 16, this par 5 is tough in arcade. Wow, Joel barely getting up there. That's pretty great shot, but just missed that putt a little to the left. So with this hole being as tough as it is, what is your strategy, going into it? Is it always a sniper up there? Do you ever try to land it on the thin strip on the right?
I think there are setups where it can make sense to go to the right, but I never do. And especially from the pro tee boxes, which are almost always in the back of this box, although this one's kind of in the middle. I'm always going to this tee box. Now, if you're in novice or advanced skill level, sometimes you'll actually be placed on this island for your tee shot. So you'll definitely see some double eagles just as a par 5 that's drivable. But in pro and expert settings, I don't believe that's the case. Certainly not in pro. I've never seen it. So yeah, most of the time it's a sniper. Sometimes if it's a headwind, I might hit a maniacs, but that would have to be a pretty odd setup. Yeah, you want to get as far to the right on this, what quote-unquote tee box as possible. Not very often you're going to hit a 5 under this, but I'm going to try it. Because I think, the maniacs is going to give me some more height. That big tailwind's going to help, and I'm going to just play a little cut here, and hopefully it's somewhere on the green.
Yeah, that left 9, especially with that wind, really, the moment you hit that green, boom.
Yeah, this is one of those holes that I was talking about where you're just happy to be on there with an eagle putt, and so sometimes you're going to have a 70-foot right 9, and, if you make it, great. If not, that's kind of what you expect not to make almost.
Oh.
I should have played that a little safer, but I did not. That was a mistake, obviously. This drop does you no favors. It's right in between clubs.
Yeah, that's a tough. I was wondering if that was the case. And that is. Do you ever play the shoot?
It's possible. I probably made that look a little tougher than it was. It was not. I should have just bailed 20 feet long, but I just kind of misjudged what I thought was should have been a little safer shot than I played. This is one that they definitely messed with the height of that green. I think it would have been borderline unplayable as a drivable par 4 if the dev team hadn't have knocked down the height of that green. Because you'd almost need a 5-wood to get up there, and in most cases it just wouldn't be reachable with a 5-wood. Sorry if I was talking over that.
No, that's all right. Nice shot. Yeah, this is Jim Z, who, if you guys don't know Jim Zielinski, he is the co-creator of Golden Tee with Larry Hodgson, Vice President of Engineering and one of our senior VPs at IT. But Jim Z has designed every single course
from scratch in terms of coming up with the location, the ideas, all of that. And Jim was very open with the mobile team and said, hey, you know, whatever adjustments you need to make for courses like that, because I agree that Tundra 18, even Tundra 15, or excuse me, 16, making that par 5 drivable. Be interesting with the next couple of courses that are going to be coming out, that it'll be interesting to see how sorry, somebody was talking here, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments to those courses, you know, the mobile team will make during, you know, the transition of bringing those courses from the arcade to mobile.
Yeah.
So we are going to grab some scores. I need a refill of my ice cold water. We are going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. We are at the Missouri Bluffs Golf Course. It is the Golden Tee Mobile qualifying event here, part of Power Events Golden Tee Tournament. St. Louis Open. Lots of people here. This room is starting to fill up because downstairs is getting packed, which is a great sign of good things to come. We are getting into course 4 of the mobile qualifying event. So the schedule, we will finish out qualifying here, probably take a little break, maybe throw in a Freaky Friday of Pine Creek on the arcade. Then we're going to go into the handicap tournament, and then tomorrow we flip scripts, do the arcade qualifying, and then mobile bracket matches later tomorrow night. But now we are taking a look here at Dodge City, another course from recent years of Golden Tee Arcade that I think plays really well in mobile and is going to be a fun course for match play tomorrow.
Yeah, it's our first Golden Tee par of -30 on mobile. Agave was a 29, Pine Coast is a 29. This is our first -30 par, both 15 under front 9 and back 9. Although there are some holes that can kind of flip that, and there's also some really good hole out opportunities, especially early on. So it's a fun course. Lots of low scores, which is always fun.
That's what I'm hoping to get out of you here today, Tony, is 30
man.
under, no pressure.
Right.
Better use those equipment boosts while you got them.
Well, I like to wait until I actually kind of need it or want it. So I didn't think that 4-iron was going to quite get there, and this is a dead straight win. So if I can catch this straight, and don't mess up the distance, it should go in. But, you know, that's easier said than done.
Of course.
Didn't get it straight. So we're messing with the setup a little bit here. We're on some stands, some iPad stands. Now we're holding them, trying to keep our connections safe here, and just gonna see how that goes. This is, I don't know if I'm on camera anywhere, but this is my preferred style of holding the iPad and playing is kind of close to my stomach and swiping.
Use the belly a little bit.
Yeah,
support.
the belly that Chad referenced earlier. Thanks, Chad.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I'm sticking it out for better support, I think, is what's going on. The one thing that I think is going to take a little getting used to is now I'm kind of staring down. I might not see Joel's thumbs up that he's done with the hole, so take a little getting used to.
Oh, thought you had the one hop in there. All right, so talk through a little bit of Dodge City. What is, what's the typical score for you on this course, during, mobile, the mobile league or anything like that?
With anybody in the top couple divisions of the mobile league, I think you're looking to shoot par. And in this case, par is 30 under par. And I think, what's the average winning score? The 18-hole score, probably 29. Not everybody's going to play perfect every hole. Definitely some hole-out opportunities early on. So I think probably, especially in the top couple divisions, 29 under par is going to be probably your average winning score. So not unlike Golden Tee Arcade in that.
Right, I was just going to say that. You did mention that earlier, so be interesting to see how this qualifying setup goes for you guys.
So this is going to be, I'm going to play a little stinger shot here. Again, trying to take as much wind out of it as possible and let it run kind of right at the hole. So I got to hit this about in between 60 and 65%. So and then just let it run, and if it misses, it'll be a putt back. The key there is, like with a forehand, you're just taking so much of the wind out of play that, you know, I didn't catch that straight at all. But if I would have caught it straight, you know, I would have been within a, you know, a cup or two of the hole. So, and that's the, I mean, that's the key. Get it close. Sometimes it's going to go in, sometimes it's not. But give yourself opportunities for hole outs. Skies look ominous here on Dodge City.
Hopefully that's not an omen to the scores you guys are going to shoot. Joel taking a card out of your book and playing the fringe there on that that last hole.
The front fringe a little bit.
Oh,
So
yeah.
on this one, definitely want to be on top of this hill, but so on arcade, if you'd put bite on this, it would kind of, you know, bounce down a couple times and stop. Here, if you're putting roll on this, it's going to just keep rolling off the edge, and so you want to kind of just end up right on top of this little mound here. But also not lay back so far, because then you're going to run out of, you're just not going to have enough club to get to the green, especially with that 9 headwind.
Yeah,
The back pin helps a lot, though.
I know it's not as bad as that one from Tundra, but it kind of reminded me, or sorry, not Tundra, Pine Coast. It's not as bad as that par 5, but still kind of the same thing. If you're not getting it as far out there as you can, it's going to be a little difficult.
Yep, for sure.
Oh, get it. Nice shot. Oh, I should tell you, by the way, that Chad said he didn't dog your belly. He just said he better not get the same angle.
I know what's up, Chad. So on hole 5 here, a lot of times I'll go over here just to kind of save some equipment. It would just be just a regular driver out there, but then you're going to leave yourself a wood in, and so I'd like to give myself a better opportunity. And since this equipment is provided by Incredible Technologies, I'm just going to blow through these maniacs and hit it out in the
Better
fairway.
use them while you have them.
Yeah. Plus, get those long drives in the books.
Don't leave any records for anybody else.
Yeah, good luck taking down 333-yard long drive on that one. Still not a whole lot of opportunity. I'm just going to try to snuggle this up for some GSPs.
Now, if you're just joining us here, we are live in St. Louis, or right outside the St. Louis area for the Power Events Golden Tee Tour. You guys are watching the mobile event, first ever live mobile event that, oh, look at that beautiful shot there. GSPs? There we go. The first mobile live event that we're doing as part of this, partnership we have with Power Events. So you'll be seeing us switch back and forth throughout the weekend from mobile to arcade and back and forth. You get a little bit of the best of both worlds here. We got our guy Richard King from Golden Tee TV. He has just arrived, which means somewhere in this building the Mouth is here. So we'll get him on commentary at some point, talk mobile and arcade. I know Mouth dabbled with mobile for a little bit, and he's always a colorful commentary kind of guy. But there's a lot going on this weekend, a lot to keep track of. But if you want to play Golden Tee Mobile on your phone, your iPad, your tablet, whatever the case may be, whether it's Google, Apple, Android, go to goldentee.com/mobile. We've made the work easy for you. Go to that link on your phone, and whatever device you have, we'll take you to that store and help you download that game for you. This is something that the league guys have the Golden Tee Mobile league guys, Tony and some of those other guys have put a lot of time and effort in, alongside with Andy Kuhlman, our director of esports at Incredible Technologies. And again, shout out to Steve Sobel and Power Events for allowing us to join them kind of in this joint partnership, because this is the first event and it's going well so far. And like Tony said a few times, it's only going to get better from here. So whether it's live in person or you're playing the game on your phone, we're happy to have you guys here.
So I don't know which way Joel went there. Some people go to the right side around the barn there. I tend to go out here, especially with a tailwind. I just feel like it might leave a little longer shot in. It definitely leaves a better angle in. So I feel like it gives me a better chance for a hole out, which is what it's all about.
I'm feeling one coming right now.
Ooh, nice. Last time he said that, I left it short and got a par on Tundra.
This is true, actually. It's just like when I try to call my own shots playing in the Golden Tee Lounge on arcade.
You just shoot your shot, and eventually you're going to hit it, right?
Right.
I mean,
I might be one for about 37,000 or million at this point, but hey, those couple times I was right.
Exactly.
Wow, I was going to say that was a beautiful shot. That I had thought that might drop. This is always a tough hole to me, shooting over the barn, and Joel made it look very easy with the arcade, or excuse me, with the mobile setup here.
So to me, it's especially with this tailwind, it's difficult because you got to clear the barn, but you also can't. Geez, it's very touchy right now. You can't go too far because you're going to go in the water. So, probably take 10 yards off of this or so and try to snuggle it down there.
I don't know if I've seen it. Has anybody aced this hole off the barn yet in mobile?
I would assume so, because it.
Oh, ooh, hanging on the edge there, huh?
Yahtzee. Just worry about that chipper not getting up quick enough. So, we'll try this.
Oh, nice. Nice save there, Tony.
Thank you.
Oh, that's good. All right, so as we're wrapping up the front nine here on Dodge City. So the way this works, if you're just joining us now, these guys are playing through all 18 holes of 5 courses. So as soon as we get done here with hole 9, after Tony Johnson drops an ace, we're going to move on to the back, see if he can shoot that 29-30 under that he talks about. Oh! Wow, you got all of the super backspin there. Wow.
Yes, I did. It was probably a little more aggressive than was needed, but, Kevin Lindsay wants a 30 under, so I'm going to try to give Kevin Lindsay a 30 under. This might be the rare flop wedge. I literally don't have a flop wedge in my bag normally, but
We gonna get you to buy one?
Nope. It's not even about the 500 gold. It's just I don't think I think it would get in the way more than it would help. But we'll see. If I make this, I'll buy one. How's that?
All right, I'm in. I think John Noble signed off, but I'll let him know that we're making him money. Oh, all right. Heartbreaker.
500 gold saved. All right, on to the back nine. Joel, you get a 15 there? You get a 15? Nice. All right, some work to do on the back nine to get that Kevin Lindsay minus 30, but it's doable. It's going to come down to 18. 18 can be completely shut down sometimes. If it's not, then I would just need a hole out.
Or you get 18 and a hole out.
Sounds great to me.
Oh, man, you're working hard to make me happy. Get a 29:30 on this live stream here.
Yeah, I'm trying, man.
It's a short little look here on hole 11, the par 3.
Yeah, it's a fun hole though. Like, you can't get too aggressive because it's kind of an elevated green, but it's always a short wedge in, and so you're always dancing around the hole. So it's always a fun one. So I know some people have messed around with going over here in this barn gap. For me, it's just always over here in the pasture every time, and then you just know it's going to be a ranger for your second shot. You know, it's definitely mess upable, but sometimes, depending on the setup, I might have just messed it up myself. Had a little accidental cut on that, which put me behind this cow.
Hey, that was a pretty damn good recovery.
Thank you.
Just glad you made the
Yeah,
putt.
I mean, that pin is definitely the easiest pin. If that pin would have been on the far right-hand side there in that little nook, definitely would have been a much more difficult eagle from where I left myself with that stupid drive shot. So hole 13 here. I mean, Dodge City is a very recent course, so a lot of us are familiar with this hole, but plays very similarly, of course. But what's interesting is I think this is the first hole where the raised part of a green is very much in play. There's other holes that have it, like Agave, the par 3, like hole 12 or 13 has a tier in it. But this is the first tier that's really in play, and the putting off of a tier or down a tier or up a tier is very much different compared to arcade. So
that's a good point.
You definitely want to be on the right tier.
I was going to say I never have had to deal with that, thankfully, at least not yet. But I'm sure the next time I play, I'll probably screw it up. But yeah, this is a fun hole. As long as you stay away from the barn.
Oh, I'm going to put it right up on that tier. We're going to see.
Well, hey.
See, so if I hit this full, every putt I hit full, like full 100% power. If I did this, it would fly off the tier and probably go off the green. So first I need a bird's eye to see actually the hole. It's going to play pretty true, but I'm going to have to take a ton of speed off of it just so it doesn't hop off the edge of this tier. So this is a bit of a crapshoot. If I make this, it's just a little bit of skill, but mostly luck.
Look at that, on the way to 29, huh?
Just a good guess.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yep.
Let's take a look and see how Joel does. He's got the javelin. Oh, off the fringe and almost in the cup. He's might have a tough minute. No, I was going to say he was a little close to that tier, but he's got an up 5 putt, so he can put that in for eagle. He's breaking records over there too, longest putt ever at 27 feet.
Impressive. So this is a pretty decent setup here. That tailwind's going to hurt a little bit on the approach shot, but it's always nice to get the drive way out here. I always go basically as far down this fairway as possible to give myself a decent angle in. 385, eat your heart out. A lot of crosswind for a 7 wind, or 7 wood, I should say. On not necessarily Dodge City, but also kind of back to Tundra a little bit. Like, these aren't hard holes. Like, that's not a hard hole, but it's a lot more thinking than I think a lot of the holes. There's more thought that goes into those holes than some of the earlier courses that were released. And so, well, it's not like the top couple tier of players mess up that hole a lot, but it's definitely one that we have to think about and really probably use premium equipment on to make sure we do a good job. And it's just a well-designed hole.
I was going to say, it's definitely a hole that'll come into play during match play tomorrow.
Yep.
Ah, Joel went right into the trees there. Try going around the left side of it. Oh, it's a hell of a chip right over the sand. Almost made it.
This is a hole I mess up. Hole 15 here. I mess this hole up all the time. I'm always scared of going long into the water, and then inevitably I hit the top of this roof. I'll see if I can avoid it here. See, what I'd like to do is rip this back with the orbits, but 20 or 30 extra yards with a 12 headwind is just not quite enough. So I'm gonna have to go up to the 3 wood and maybe take 10 yards off of this. And try to rip it back. Not with a naked ball, that's for sure.
I was wondering what was going on there.
If I would have hit the roof, it might have worked out great, but that's not the goal. again.
Oh.
I can't stay away from the roof.
I mean, you kind of called your shot there.
You'd think I would learn, but guess not. Oh man, this is jail. Trying to guess what's going to get above this steer's ass and under the roof.
I was just gonna say, you know, I think that thing makes me think of Tommy Boy.
I definitely have a good look at a steer's butt.
Just do a soft driver. Little A1 action.
I could take a zero bird under the steer and under that that fence post there.
There you go. Look at getting creative here.
I think I hit the roof, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Ooh.
I made a mess of that hole, but I'll take that birdie.
That's all right. I say you walked away with a birdie at least. All right, let's see how Joel fares on the other side. All right, so he went with the sniper and caught the roof. So he's up on the edge of the roof there.
Oh, Joel hit the roof too.
Yep. I got excited. I thought he was going to putt it off, but he's opting to chip it. Wow, that was a hell of a shot.
All right, another hole that plays pretty different from arcade. We're gonna move over here. The bench is gonna go away. Thank you, bench. You just know you're gonna play a ranger, which is gonna basically give you a fairway lie once you go in this mud. So you can see with a driver, I've got 157, but as soon as I throw the ranger on there, it turns into a regular driver. Still kind of a funky shot here with a big crosswind. It's probably not going to get there.
Oh, get in there. Take the GSPs, though.
I will take the GSP. So on arcade with that, you can basically assure that you might end up in the dirt, but you're always going to clear the mud. And so if I was in the dirt there, I could have hit a normal one without a ranger. Now I might still have used a ranger, but I could have gotten to the green without a ranger. And that's just what we're used to being able to play on arcade, because you can high tee that driver and hit it 370 yards, whereas you just can't do that on mobile. With the wind being nothing, you kind of max out that driver at about 340 if you use a Maniac. So. All right, so let's see. I need to go. If I'm gonna get that 29, I need to go eagle eagle. And so, or birdie double eagle, but eagle eagle is definitely the easier.
I was thinking, the hole out here would be solid.
Yeah, just, I mean, it's tough to judge that, you know, 4 wind in your face into the up 5. Usually what I say is if you cross the hole in terms of distance and line, then you've hit a shot that might go in. And like I've said a few times on the stream, if you all you can do is give it a chance. Sometimes it's going to go in, sometimes it's not.
How often do you think you're making 17 on dodge?
With that setup, probably 1 out of 7 or 8.
Okay.
Kind of in that range. That was a pretty easy setup. They can definitely play a lot harder than that, but with that setup, probably 1 out of 7 or 8. So these damn boxes are just, I feel like we never even thought about these boxes in arcade, but all of a sudden they're just in the way on mobile. So I'm guessing with this shot I might clip the top of those boxes.
How about you bounce it off the top of the box and drop it in?
Certainly a possibility. I mean, the in part is a long shot, but bouncing off the top of the box is definitely a possibility here. Yeah, cleared him.
Hey, sometimes that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, I don't know how you could do a ton better than a, you know, this 45-foot right 4. You could maybe get it 10 feet closer, but. See that right 4? That right 4 turned into a right 3 when I went over there, so I got to account for that a little bit. Not quite play it like a full right 4. See if I talk myself into a miss on this. Yep. That'll happen sometimes on flat putts too, and I think it's a little bit more common on arcade, where you've got maybe a straight up 9, and you'll do a 1 click left and 1 click right to see if it's got a little sneaky right 1 or left 1 in there, and we do it sometimes on arcade or on mobile too, but it's a little bit less common. All right, we're gonna roll right into the final course. All right. Crawdad, brand new course. Front nine's been out for, I don't know, a month. And Joel's gonna lead off. Back nine's just been out for a little over a week. So yeah, and the back nine, like I said earlier on the stream, it's a fun 9. It's got some very fun holes. And some tricky shots, so looking forward to it. I mean, it used to be that when a new course came out, they would really ramp up the percentage that would pop up in contest play. And while they still ramp it up, I think they've dialed that back a little bit. So it used to be like 1 out of every few rounds you played on contest would be the new course, and it would be that way for a few days, but it's definitely dialed back from what it was before.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful shot. Joel. That's the kind of shot, I know you can't see it, Tony, but you can assume the type of shot that he hit, just ramming it right in there in the cup to kick off with an eagle. So no pressure to you.
Was it a stinger?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Proud of you for breaking all those records.
Just getting this new iPad hot. Maybe.
Oh, just a little bit to the left. It was a good shot at it, though. Say, it sounds like you're gonna need those. You're gonna need some extra strokes for the back 9.
Yeah, that's. I think it's other than maybe Pine Coast back 9, probably going to be the hardest 9 to stay on par on. Both of those are pretty difficult.
Gorgeous shot that somehow was just shy of 6 feet for Joel there on hole number 2.
Let's boost it.
Always got to go with the boost.
Well, I like to.
Except Boost
I'm used
Mobile.
to. I'm used to. Is that a future sponsor, Kev?
No, I was just making
Okay.
a stupid joke.
I like to stay with the pyros because I'm used to hitting stingers with the pyro irons. So a lot of times on hole 1, that's what you'll be hitting. But I usually upgrade pretty quickly after that.
Now, how come you went just with the regular backspin and not the extra? Just worried if you hit it short, you're wet?
Yeah, I just haven't played this course enough to be really sure of how much that was going to carry. And so I was pretty sure it was going to be too deep, but I also didn't want to rip it back off the front of the green. So it was a little bit of a safety shot.
No, that makes sense.
And, 3 months from now, when I've played this course 5 times as much as I have now, I'd probably do exactly like you described there and play the orbits and rip it back at the hole, but I'm not comfortable enough with it yet.
No, that's completely understandable. All right, so it sounds like it looks like we're starting to get some scores in from people, so we will we'll get the results posted here after their final, about an hour or 2. Ooh, that's definitely GSPs. But I need you to start dropping hole outs though.
Tell me about it, Kev. I feel like a little bit of a lack of hole outs, but
Well, here you got the perfect opportunity on hole 4.
I might have to before Worlds, I might have to pull the case off my iPad to just kind of get used to because I think my iPad is pretty similar size to this one, but just kind of get used to the weight of it, and I don't know. So it'll be definitely time to practice ahead of it, and, because it might seem like not much, but having the case on versus not having the case on, it just throws it off just a little bit, just enough, especially with some of those stinger shots that are, if you're off just one click, all of a sudden it's not going in the hole.
No, I completely understand that. Yeah.
And also, maybe the 7 beers.
We're only up to 7 right now, huh?
I don't actually. Since the 6 beer comment came in, I've been sitting with this beer. I've been waiting for a break to go get another beer, but plenty of time to drink this evening during the handicap tournament, and I'll be doing that. So finish out the qualifier here on mobile, and then have some fun this evening. That's what the weekend's all about, moving from one event to the next and having some fun. We got the good setup on hole 5 here. Just one that's not that tee box that's not tucked behind the trees, so you can kind of just go right over everything and give yourself a decent look. Although with that down 2 with the tailwind, it's probably going to have to be a spinning shot.
Almost. Again, Joel hitting 7 feet shots that clearly should have been 6 feet with shotties.
Clearly. So this is a hole that I wish the tee boxes were like 20 yards closer, because there are going to be this tee box is no chance, but there are going to be setups where this hole's drivable, or at least borderline drivable for a chip. But if the tee boxes were just up like 20 more yards, I think it could be a really fun hole.
Sounds like you're looking for the new tees. Pay for some new tees.
So is that? I was thinking you meant new tees like halfway through the Golden Tee year on arcade. Right now they're putting in new tee boxes, but you're saying like I would pay to move up 20 yards? Is that what you're saying?
No, but actually that sounds fun too. I like both ideas. Now, I think, especially seeing how successful it's been on the arcade side, we're open to a lot of different things. And I don't know if it's really been discussed too much, but I really like the idea of having kind of like new tees come out 4, 5, 6 months after these courses come out.
Well, and especially the original 3 courses came out. What, 20 months ago? And so typically with Golden Tee Arcade, you're on a 1-year cycle. And so, some of the older courses, not this course at all, of course, this just came out, but some of them eventually will get stale. And one way to prevent that is to throw some new tee boxes at us.
Oh, yeah. Now, those will be fun. I think especially with the creative freedom that the Jimsies kind of bless the mobile team with to do what they want, I think we can come up with some really fun alternative tees for mobile. Now, this hole 7, this par 5, do you feel like this is easier than arcade, or a little bit challenging in its own way?
I don't know. I would say that, as with anything that's going to have a 270-yard approach shot, like we're going to have here in probably a second, the approach shot is more difficult in mobile than arcade, but it's also way easier to get it in this really, position A right on top of this hill. Whereas on arcade, I feel like you need to play it with a little more touch to get really right there. Whereas, again, if you're just filling out the math equation a little bit, it's not too difficult to get it here on the mobile side. But this is a pretty sweet setup. Like,
I was just going to say,
there's no reason this shouldn't at least scare the hole a little bit.
We want this to drop, drop, drop. Just a little bit too far to the left there.
Again, with these newer courses, some of these, it's a bit of a learning curve, of course, of how to approach a hole, but also these down greens. When you're landing on a down green, it really is totally different than on the arcade side, where you have to really judge the down, and a down 3 acts totally different than a down 5. So learning how the greens run out is a really important aspect of mobile as well.
Yeah, definitely something that'll take some time to kind of adjust to and get a feel for. I appreciate internet commentary. People just asked what they are playing on, and somebody said Earth.
Can confirm.
You guys are just...
The second floor. We're playing on the second floor.
Yes.
question to the production team. Is everyone else done with the qualifier besides us two? Okay, cool.
Oh, you'll appreciate this comment. Barson says Whammy's playing on his gut like most of us do.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey man, whatever's comfy.
That's why I don't lose weight, is because it would throw off my Golden Tee mobile game.
Smart.
Yeah. You know, World Championships coming up. The wife wants me to lose some weight, but honey, you know what? Not right now.
Save that for the next Vegas trip.
When's that going to be, Kev?
I don't actually know yet, but
okay.
We Adam talked a little bit about this on word of mouth on Wednesday.
Yeah.
About the question was asked about World Championship for arcade and stuff like that, and myself, Andy, Adam, a few others will be out in Vegas in a few weeks for the Amusement Expo and Nightclub and Bar trade shows. So we're definitely going to get over to Orleans, revisit with our friends over there, and see what we can put together for hopefully, sometime early next year.
Okay.
A lot of things have to come in place, but it'll be good to see, it'll be good to kind of figure that stuff out.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to, got to watch an ad first. Looking forward to Worlds coming up for mobile, but obviously, hopefully, have the arcade Worlds come back, because obviously that's a great time. The Orleans was an awesome venue. If we can go back to the Orleans, that's definitely preferred by the players, I think. All right, now that we've made a little ad revenue, back to the game. This is a hole that definitely takes a little figuring out, because depending on where you're at, getting under these branches and then over the next set of trees is what you're trying to do.
Yeah, that's something I struggled all the time in arcade. And so it's been even harder on mobile. And for those of you that are just kind of tuning in now, you'll be hearing loud voices coming in probably through the headsets a little bit. And that would be Steve Sobel of Power Events, who's getting people together for the handicap tournament, so we can try to start that on time, because I haven't been downstairs in a little while, but it sounds like there's a lot of people that are making their way in. That's a beautiful shot. If it stops, there you go.
And a long drive to boot.
There you go, 279 yards. Wow. But lots of people are going to be playing in the handicap tournament tonight on the arcade side, where they can potentially win their entry into the main event qualifier on Saturday.
Do we, another production question, do we know, I didn't hear that announced from Sobel. Are they cutting off the sign-ups for the handicap soon? Okay. Good. I'll flag somebody down.
Another solid shot there by Joel on hole 10, that drivable par 4. It's always a good feeling when you can walk away from a hole like that with eagle.
Joel, have you signed up for the handicap yet? Have you signed up for the handicap event yet? Okay. All right, we're good. Don't worry, viewers. I'm taken care of. This is one I'm just kind of hoping for a chip up the green.
I was going to say, how often are you trying to drive this? How often?
This tee box is just too far unless I had a gigantic tailwind, I think. But from the front part of this box, I've definitely been on before. It's just not that common of a setup that it's possible.
All right, so for those of you that are asking for the score updates and brackets, it sounds like we're going to have that live on Challenge a little bit after, about 10-15 minutes after the stream ends here. So once these guys are done with the back nine of Crawdad, we'll wrap things up, take a little bit of a break, get some food in us, recharge, and then we're going to switch over to the Golden Tee Arcade Handicap Tournament. We'll get a lot of different people kind of rotating in and out for commentary, as people are playing their games and finishing up. And it's going to be a good long weekend at Golden Tee, and hope you guys are ready for all the action. Joel going for that, what are you calling it, Tony? Stinger shot?
Stinger, yeah.
I like that name, but just couldn't get it up there. The Stinger with the zero hybrid and a sniper.
So you were just left of the green and tried to stinger shot and it didn't work? Yeah. Oh.
Wow. That's tough.
That was surprising it was short. It was just barely short, but
At least you got that old fop.
yeah. Just testing it out.
Before you buy it with some gold bars, right?
Probably not.
All right, let's take a look, see what Joel can do here.
Hopefully a better version of the 7-wood than I hit.
Well, he's on the green, putting from 22 feet for eagle. He's got it, so
Nice.
it's good.
Try a little mini stinger here. So this is about a 60%er. Try to run that 4-iron in. It's kind of, again, it's kind of like a chush shot, but not exactly.
Ooh, thought you had it there.
Just a cup or two off the whole time.
Joel hitting a different shot there, but almost got the ultra shot there for on the par 3. Now, have you been able to drive this hole yet in Mobile?
No, but this is about as good of the setup as you're going to get. Front box, 14 tailwind. It's not going to get on the green, but I'm hoping to at least get a chip at it. We'll see. I might go over. I want that first bounce to be in the fairway of the first cut to get a big bounce.
Big hop in.
Yeah. I'll at least get a chip at it.
Boom! It's done it. Nice chip, Tony.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Needed that Needed the eagle love there. Just barely grabbing that
Just trickled on the left side.
left side of the green, left side of the cup. That's all right. Oh, no. Oh, Joe got all that 14-mile-an-hour wind.
What was it, 440? All right, hole 15 here. Again, this course has only been out for a week, so we're definitely still kind of exploring how to get our way through this this forest. And we're way back in this tee box on the left side, so it's going to be a bit of a guess. I'm going to try to go over here and hit the zero hybrid through here. Total guess.
Yeah, the zero hybrid was the shot of choice a lot of times in the arcade game. So,
and from closer, my shot has been to purposely go through those far trees and take about 5% off. But with the tee as far back as it is, I think I got to go full hit on this. There we go.
it's about as good as you can get other than dropping the cup there.
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, I mean, anywhere on the green is good there. So I was happy with that. And you know, I could have hit a grabber instead of a sniper, but sniper is just kind of a safety shot, just to kind of make sure it doesn't do something weird.
Joel not as fortunate there with his shot.
Looks like he made a mess of that one, just judging by facial reactions.
It's tough.
Hole 16. This is an example of, you know, I was talking about the rollout from down greens. This is a down 9, and so this pin's not one I would attack, but if that pin's in the back, a lot of times you think you could attack it, but this is a case of down 9 being a heck of a lot more dangerous than a down 5. So definitely safety's in order on this hole. In this case, I'm going to use a grabber just to kind of let it land and kind of trickle hopefully down to the right and hopefully get within GSP range.
All right, let's see you make it happen.
Yeah, need more. Yeah, this is just an example of one that I just don't have the dial. I'm not dialed in on the elevation change and the downslope and how it's going to bounce, and so just kind of a dangerous shot, even for one that looks pretty benign.
Well, you know, the one thing I think you'll see a lot this weekend, you know, you said it a couple times in it. Oh, Joel with the super backspin. 6 feet away, no shotties. He definitely got Jim Z. But with the, like you said, with this course being so new, you know, I wonder how people are going to feel about, you know, spinning this course, you know, when it comes to, you know, random selection for match play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great course. I think it's a fantastic match play course, but it, you know, it being so new, it's definitely a lot of unknowns.
Also, I'm informed that I should not bring up Jim Z's name, but we should call it Nobold. You got John Nobold.
Sounds like an inside IT fight there.
No, it's just, you know. we've been talking about John Noble a lot. So now every time something bad happens to Jen Mobile, we'll just call it Noble. Wow, again, you and that fringe make a hell of a pair all day today. Ooh. Now, did your golfer turn at the end of that shot, like right before you pushed that, or was that just a camera angle change?
I did not notice. Sorry,
Okay.
Kev.
No, it's all right.
I was too busy celebrating it going in the side of that side of the cup there.
Oh, I don't blame you there, my friend. All right, so Joel went for a similar shot and ended up catching the rocks there, unfortunately. So he's got about a 19-yard chip. He's using that flop. Oh.
All right, so hole 18. You know, with this left 10, the pin's not in the front, so I'd love to let it run, but it's tough to let it run into that left 10. So I'm gonna just ride that 16 wind and try to judge that first bounce correctly with the left 10. So we'll see. This hopefully should be pretty decent.
Not to mention the 16-mile-an-hour wind blowing to the right too, so you're gonna get a lot of pushover that way. Oh. Woo. Had me nervous there for a second. Nicely done, Tony.
Thank you. One interesting thing, another big difference that I haven't talked about at all with arcade versus mobile is that first bounce. And so if I play a big A1 or C3 on arcade, that first bounce is going to be in that same direction, you know, that the ball is approaching the green at. Whereas on mobile, it's actually it spins backward at the same angle that it approaches at, and so that's a completely different thing.
That's one of the first things I
probably should have talked about that before the very end.
That's all right. We got plenty.
We got plenty of stream left to do.
We got plenty of weekend to talk all about the ins and outs. Well, Tony, I appreciate you, joining me on commentary while playing, while qualifying. If you are on the chat, we'll send you a link. Posted the link to the brackets. That'll be up in a little bit here once we get final scores and everything tallied. We're going to take a bit of a break. We're not going to end up getting Freaky Friday, at least not right now. Maybe after the handicap tournament, but handicap tournament's supposed to start in half an hour. There's still a lot of people trickling in. It is Friday night, so things are starting to get exciting and get crazy here. You can see this room behind me, much more filled. Downstairs, even bigger crowd there. So. Okay, so it sounds like we're going to cut the stream for about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back. And so I don't know if you guys can hear, but it's saying that the handicap is going to start at 7:30. So myself, a few others, we'll get some people rotating in and out here to do commentary, and we'll see what the night brings us. So thanks for joining us for our first ever Golden Tee Mobile live qualifying event. We're going to bring flip sides, go to the arcade handicap tournament tonight, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, Kev.